Hey everyone, Shane here. Let me tell you about my show coming up on November 24th, Saturday night over at Pops. We're calling it Riffs for Gifts. Me and my friend Lexi Schlimmer put this show together for benefiting Toys for Tots, and we invited all along our friends. Outrun the Fall, The Poor, Steeples, Monk and the People, The Matching Shoe, and Silent Hollow, all performing live that evening on Saturday the 24th. Along with that, we'll have some silent auction stuff. We'll have there's rumors that Santa Claus might even be there, so I'm very excited about that. And a whole lot more other things coming up. So get involved with the show. You can find more details at popsrocks.com. And come on out. It's a $10 donation at the door or $5 with a toy donation. So again, all this benefiting Toys for Tots, and it's going to be a great time. So come on out Saturday, November 24th, Pops in Sauget, Illinois. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, this is Lexi
and Sid
of Hess Van Schlimmer Metalworks and Art, home of the Schlimmer Metal Wolves. We are a small but furious family-run welding, fabrication, and metalworks shop with CNC capabilities and now full-scale powder coating operation. We bring unique, affordable quality art to life within the realm of practicality. Whether it's signs, sculptures, railings, shelves, furniture, or even just powder coat for your rims or your patio set, give us a look, check us out on Facebook or Instagram, or call 618-670-5724. We are Hess Van Schlimmer Metalworks. That was terrible.
We tried.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here with Rock Paper Podcast. Let me tell you about my friends over at Naked Vine, located at 1624 Clarkson Road in Chesterfield, Missouri, serving up all your favorites, wine, whiskey, and local craft beers. Stop by and visit them this week for some live music from the Warbuckles on Thursday, November 1st. Jake's Leg on Friday, November 2nd. Kent Earhart and the Blue Moon Blues Band on Saturday, November 3rd. And I return to Naked Vine with my singer-songwriter storytelling showcase on Tuesday, November 13th with Nick Gussman, Maddie Shell, and Sean Kimball. 7 o'clock start for that show, $5 at the door. All these details and more can be found at nakedvine.net. Be sure to follow along with them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram also. And again, come out for some wine and stick around for the show. Thanks, everyone.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio. It's on the internet. Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Yeah. That's also like my mom. It makes it sound more confusing, doesn't it? It sounds like this.
Hi, this is Eric Barnes. Welcome to Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast, y'all.
Hey everybody, Shane Presley here, Rock Paper Podcast, coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. Hanging out today with Eric Barnes. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, thanks for showing up.
Yeah, man, this is exciting. I talk about it a lot on this show, but this is our first time getting to hang out. Really, I think we officially met in person. You stopped by my show at Naked Vine like a month ago.
Songwriter stuff.
Yeah, and so we officially met. We'd been friendly online for a little while, and. But this is cool to get an opportunity to kind of actually sit down and chat and get to know more about each other and get to talk about some of your songs and everything else you got going on here. So I appreciate you doing this, man.
Oh, not a problem. When I reached out to you, I thought it'd be a cool thing to do and saw everybody that was doing it. I was like, I know them. And then you said we could do it, and then I kind of tried to talk myself out of it, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah?
But glad we're here.
Yeah.
Glad we're here and doing it.
Hell yeah, man. This I'm trying to do my part to showcase all the talents of St. Louis, man. We got a lot of really great things happening in town. So
there's a lot of folks out there that people don't know.
Right.
I don't know any of the answers to make people aware, but they'd be surprised how many great local talents are.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I do remember now that when I started doing a little bit of homework preparing for this, I did happen to find a video of you on Loft Sessions a couple years ago, and I do remember seeing that a few years back and stuff. So I have been kind of aware of you for a while, but this is a lot more of it's of recently. You know, we've definitely become a lot more friendly.
Yeah, Matt. I can never say his last name.
McElrath.
Yeah. Matt asked me to do that when doing that. I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but the stretch that they did it was a really cool thing and a really cool setting.
Well, it's no longer Loft Sessions. He moved it. He partnered with Gaslight, and it's the Gaslight Sessions. So
Cool.
Everything's filmed inside the Gaslight studio.
Even
now.
better.
Yeah.
Even better. I like the Gaslight. I've been there a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah, really, Matt does a great thing in all those videos and everything over with the Gaslight now.
Good guy. I actually wrote a song, and of course, like musicians do, ask folks to play on it, and it never happens. But he's a good saxophone player.
Yeah, definitely.
Got a song called Butterfly that needs a saxophone.
Yeah.
There you go, Matt.
Yeah.
Haven't seen you in 5 years. But
Well, tell me about how this all gets started. Are you born and raised in St. Louis, Eric?
No. Born in a little town called Houston, Missouri. And that's where all my people are from. And but bounced around from time to time. All over the Midwest.
Yeah.
Small town. So, which is why I think, writing songs, moving as much as I did, and the small town vibes, it almost seems like every small town's the same.
Sure.
Just different places, And I was able to experience that, just bouncing. So, I guess that's where some songs come from.
Yeah. Is that, when do you discover the songwriting and stuff? Is that pretty early on that you something you wanted to do?
No, not wanted to do. It's just always something like a curse. Just always something I've done.
Yeah.
My mom was an English teacher. I guess that probably jump-started things at a young age. But I always wrote. It seemed like always rhyming, always doing something, and putting it and actually writing it down. And then, which is not something that would have been the norm, because I grew up in a very athletic family. But at some point, I was probably in my mid-20s. I thought I saw somebody playing the guitar, and I thought I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
So I just took some stuff that I wrote and started putting it with the guitar.
Right.
Taught myself some dummy chords, and away I went.
I used to write a little bit. Like I wrote some poetry, and I wrote for a school paper in high school, and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I never kind of wanted to. It's always been a bucket list thing for me. I talk about it a lot, but I wanted to write and have somebody record a song or something like that. And so maybe one of these days I'll get there, but
it's a release, if nothing else. I love it and I hate it at the same time. I think the more expectation a songwriter puts into it, the more troublesome it gets.
Yeah.
So if you can keep from really expecting anything out of it, it can be a good thing. But
sure. Yeah, it does seem like. Especially some of the greats, when they get to that point where they're in such a demand and things, and I think that's why a lot of them more modern music now. Like a lot of them have gone to, hire other people to help write for them or do different things, and I could only assume that life gets so busy once people hear your name. Yeah,
and you get to playing the same songs over and over that you're famous for. It's hard to write anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish I knew how it worked. I don't. never had that problem.
That's why I think about that a lot. Like you look at like a Rolling Stones or even Paul McCartney's still out there doing it, and like those guys are singing the same song for 60 years now or whatever. And it's like
it's been said. I might as well quote him twice. A guy named Ray Wiley Hubbard.
Oh yeah.
Said if you're gonna write a song, he said you better be willing to sing it every day for the rest of your life.
Right.
It better be that good to you. But going back to that expectation stuff that I talked about, he's got a quote in one of his songs, and it says, "The days I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, I have very good days." You know.
Yeah.
So
is he pretty big influence for you? You listen to a lot of Ray Wiley Hubbard?
I love listening to him.
Yeah.
I can't really say influence-wise as a writer. Yes, he's a blues rock and roll guy.
Yeah.
And I'd love to play the blues, but I'm not rock and roll. But yeah, he's. I mean, I've loved him, and he's the Austin. He goes way back, you know, Texas songwriter guy. So yeah, he's Jerry Jeff Walker, and you know,
I think the first
Gareth
one.
Morley plays all those guys.
Yeah, I think the first one I heard from Ray Wiley Hubbard was Snake Farm. That's a big one for sure.
It's people. If somebody listens to this, they're gonna think this is staged, but it's not. This is a true story. I was at Rick Wood's house concert, and I don't know how it happened, but I got an invite and went and just sat right in Rick's living room and saw Ray Wiley Hubbard do his thing. It was awesome. And after the show, or after they were done, we were all sitting around. He's shaking as many hands as he can, and I get my turn to shake his hand. And I said, you know, I've been trying to learn this song, Snake Farm. And he stopped, went and unpacked his guitar, got it out, and sat on Rick Wood's couch and taught me how to play Snake Farm.
Nice. Yeah.
I still don't play it the way he taught me how to, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. Well, man,
that's my Ray Wiley Hubbard story.
You get a lesson from the man himself.
I know, right?
That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's such a fun, like, just goofy song, but it's a good time.
It's got a groove and a beat, and I wish more people knew it.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah.
Yep. Well, let's drop in one of your tunes, man. We did do some live jamming here in the kitchen, and we got a couple of songs we wanted to share with you. You want to start with Bars?
Yeah.
Let's talk about this one, man. Anything come to mind you want to add to this one?
Yeah, it's hard for me to talk a lot about where a song is from or where it is supposed to go, but I guess playing in a lot of bars and doing, not necessarily playing a lot of bars, because I love going to bars, or have loved going to bars in the past, I should say, and like the music that most bars have, but what I did and what I do has never really fit in to a lot of the bars that I've played in.
Right.
And it's just one of those things, you know. I think every musician's done it. I don't mean to be the pessimist that says it out loud, but at the end of a night, they're like, why in the hell did I just do what I just did, you know? And I guess it's that kind of a song, maybe.
Right.
You know? So, kind of a downer, but kind of a trudge through it, and you're still going to play the next bar somewhere down the road kind of thing.
Sure.
held your hand behind those bars. I couldn't pick you up with empty bottles in my car. We just smiled, knew what we were thinking, spent an hour more just hanging out without ever really speaking. Damn the bars. Through those gates, I stood there staring at the people and the places I always longed to be. And I've been around 3 or 4 times, and what some consider character, others will call scars from all the bars. It's the people in those places of the spaces that I go, help me write the reasons, doing the only thing I know. Piss drunk fights and sleepless nights and blankets in my car, and somehow you still think it's about being a rock star. So damn the bars, so I'll hold your hand, and you drift away so peacefully in a far and distant land. And I'll just go and pour my heart out and trade all of my tomorrows, and they don't know who you are. And all the bars.
It's always funny to me, like with some of the songs, like when you write, like obviously that one's pretty straightforward, as like I saying, kind of a downer thing, but like when people write some like downer lyrics, but they can put it a little more upbeat, and people get like tricked into thinking it's a happy song. When then like, well, if you listen to the lyrics, you'll realize it's not necessarily a happy song.
There's a lot of that. It's well, I think that's kind of that's why songwriting has kind of slipped a little bit, because people are so beat oriented, and as long as there's a catchy whatever to it, they'll sing the chorus because it's catchy, but not really know the song is.
Yeah.
Make someone want to jump off a bridge or something.
Right. Yeah, I gotta talk to a lot of people, and some people would definitely all focus on the music and stuff. They're all sonically, they'll listen to the stuff, but like they don't. But me, I've always been a lyrics guy. Like it's just like something that I always connected with. That's why I like talking to so many singer-songwriters. I like the stories, and I like hearing about these, the actual stories that make these songs and stuff like that. And it's always been a big part of my life. So that's how I even got going and doing this. Like it's just something I'm passionate about and love talking about them.
Yeah, well, I wish songwriting was more enjoyable, or I should say more popular than it is. But like you said, it's got its own little group of folks, and those folks tend to be laid back and somewhat reserved.
Yep.
So you don't hear a lot about the golden stuff that is out there.
Right.
But there's people plugging it though. You just got to go searching for it.
Sure.
There's some great stuff out there.
Yeah, it's not always as mainstream as.
Right. Oh no.
So.
Yeah.
A lot of it's I've noticed even like locally and stuff, man. Like, well, it's there's still like that. Like people trading tapes and kind of thing. Like that whole thing. Like people just would be like, oh, you got to check out this guy. You got to, like, it's all a lot of word of mouth, and like, that's how, different like Grateful Dead and all those groups and stuff. Like people were recording shows and trading recordings and different things, and like we're saying, hey, you gotta listen to this. And
yeah, it's I hate Facebook, but I get to see clips of little things that people do. You can't be everywhere all the time, but it's nice to see what somebody's doing once in a while, and that allows me to do it. A guy named Drew Schaefer, he's always him and Neil.
They try to document as much as they can too.
They just wear it out.
Yeah,
but those two, they're fun guys.
Yeah,
they're good guys.
Definitely. Well, we do have a show coming up. We want you to come on out on November 15th. That's a Thursday night over at Naked Vine, and you do probably at least monthly there or something, usually?
I hope. Brian has been really, really kind to me and let me play there whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
And I hope that continues. Because, it's been about a monthly thing since I moved out here, but we'll see.
Yeah.
He's got people lined up waiting to play. So,
he's got a great thing going out there. I really like that room a lot, and Brian's just a great guy and been really easy to work with. I've been thrilled that we've become great friends and that having some success doing my songwriter show out there and stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. But November 15th, and you said. I usually do a Friendsgiving you were telling me about?
Yeah. This is kind of... I don't know how much I should say about it, to be honest with you. But get a hold of me somehow if you're a musician and you kind of enjoy what Brian's doing and stuff like that.
Right.
And I don't know if it would be much of a night at all, but I'm going to play there that night anyway.
Right.
And, it might be just a good precursor to Thanksgiving.
There we go. That sounds good to me, man.
Yeah.
Anything I can get extra Thanksgivings.
I fried a turkey last year.
Yeah. There we go.
I'm not promising that this year. We'll see.
Yeah. Maybe a ham. You never know. Let's drop in another one. You were telling me we played Old Bill, and I like these kind of. This is definitely a lot more of the storytelling. It's like you were talking. There's quite a few words, which I always find impressive too. That you can memorize all the words.
Yeah, me too.
But you care to talk about Old Bill?
This is the first CD I have. I'd hardly call it a CD, but I did put 10 songs down and. Have something in hand, but it had a lot of songs kind of grandparent oriented, I guess, kind of roots type stuff. And this song was a combination, possibly, of two old guys that haven't seen each other in a long, long time, and then they start telling a story. And I don't know the whole story, but I caught just bits and pieces of it for it to make an impact on some part of me somewhere. And I never had to serve, but I've always respected and felt a little bit guilty because I never did. One of those kind of things. And I think it's unfortunate that a lot of times folks come back and they have trouble dealing back, getting back into the world,
right.
The world, I guess. So I guess that's where the message went, with that song.
Mm-hmm.
It was in another lifetime, another time and place, where I sought to meet my maker, look him in the face, and ask him all the questions about everything I'd done. Someone had to walk in there, but why was I the one? I remember back in high school I used to joke around. One day I'd leave it all behind, move to a bigger town, where the neon lights were so bright, couldn't stand the glare. The only light I saw that night was coming from that flare. We were tromping through the deep swamps north of T-Like Cow. and I couldn't see my regiment, but I caught up somehow. About the time that they were talking, wondering what to do. We could go way round, or we could go straight through. It's just a little shack, no more than this here place. Scoot around big country, trying to plead their case. And it was just some old swamp hermits, so we agreed we should, 'cause we ain't ate for days, and something sure smelled good. So we took all our guns, headed for that shack, and I was chosen to go first. I had fallen back, and I remember seeing country out the corner of my eye, just about the time they lit the whole damn sky. And there's just the 6 of us, so I did the only thing I could. Laid there like a dead man under some old fallen wood. It took all I could muster, it took all I could stand, to keep from moving a muscle when that son of a bitch stepped on my hand. He said that I laid there for 3 days before I felt it safe. Slowly I got up and I walked out of that place. And I can't remember if I found them, maybe they found me. Nothing but a busted hand and a badly twisted knee. And I wake up every morning to a blessing or a curse. And the fact I made it out was the fact that I went first. And I never made those neon lights, I never left this town. When I got home I couldn't seem to lay that bottle down. And when he finished talking, all he did was shake his head. Back then and now, what's the difference? Dead is just as dead. And the moral ain't the Purple Heart old Bill never saw. Well, it's a wasted life that he had to live without the help he should have got. And that was written about 2 guys in World War II.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of friends that were in Vietnam. I don't know how many people know a whole lot about that or that era or that war. I mean, I think it's, you know, stigmatized by a lot of things that you see on TV or,
Sure.
I guess, a computer nowadays. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people view that, and I know it's a problem that's sometimes not addressed.
Right. Yeah, my uncle was a Vietnam vet, and he I don't know, he never really talked about it. I know I heard a lot of secondhand stories over the years from from cousins and my dad and uncles, and but different things from the family, like about him being a POW and stuff, and all the some of the shit that he went through. But like, you know, this was something nobody really talked about it. It was kind of, it was like,
well, as you I can only imagine that you got to put that somewhere,
right,
and not talk about it unless it's with the closest people to you,
right,
I would think. But yeah, I mean, war's a bad thing.
Sure.
I mean,
I can't imagine what he went through.
Yeah, I know. But a lot of my old friends are tough old birds.
Yeah.
They shake their heads about a lot of things that are going on today. But
yeah,
you know,
my favorite memory though of my uncle, he passed away a couple years ago, but the favorite memory I have is one year around this time we were talking Thanksgiving and stuff coming up. We were sitting around the table and we're all sharing stories. A bunch of my cousins were all laughing, talking about movies we'd seen recently and different things. And then and he chimes in, and he's also been in a wheelchair for a long time, so he doesn't get out a whole lot because he does do stuff. He just doesn't go to the movies a whole lot, do different things. But he would. So we're sitting around. And he goes, "Yeah, I went to the movies," and we're all like, everybody just like stops and turns and looks at it and like, "What? What'd you go see?" And it was Deer Hunter, 1987, and like I just lost it. I cracked up. So it was like, anyway, it was just made me crack up. That was a good one.
My grandpa, he just passed away. Was that last summer? probably a year ago. He spent the last 25 years. He had a stroke and couldn't use half of his body. He could still get up and walk around for a while, but he lived a long, long time finding the small joys of life. And he's a pretty remarkable man.
Yeah.
So.
Is that I feel like that'd probably be a lot of it, like a lot of good influences on, like, I have a working theory. I haven't been able to apply it myself, but like hanging out with an old man, either your grandpa or uncles or whatever, and like the stories they say, and they and I feel like they just like speak in like hooks and songs, like the lines they say, and it's like so many of those, like, keep talking, let me write this down, like.
Right. Well, just listening to older folks in general will make you much smarter.
Sure.
I don't think a whole lot of people, including myself, it's taken me a long time to learn how to listen. But I think if people did more of that, the world wouldn't be in chaos, so to speak. But I guess my grandpa, he was a large influence on a lot of us. I got a lot of cousins, and they all have really good lives. So I guess you look at it, and it's fortunate that something great came of it. Kind of one of those things. I wrote a song the last years of his life. It's called November. It's sneaking up on November. And also, you did something with this Alzheimer's benefit, which I got no idea anything about. But long story short, I wrote a song that was somewhat wrapped around an old man losing his mind, and
that was my friend Gavin. I know. It was a part of that Alzheimer's thing.
I should have mentioned Gavin when I mentioned Drew and Neil.
But Gavin wrote a beautiful song called "Don't Forget Me," and it's tear your heart out. It's but.
Well, mine won't tear your heart out, but it's sad too. it's
real sad, and like there's a beautiful version he did. We debuted it on the show a little bit ago, but he recorded the version of the studio at a Gaslight, and it's like a couple talking back and forth to each other. So he does his verse, and then he has a female part that she does her verse, and so it was interesting because I've heard him do it solo before and things, and it's still a beautiful song, but like that added to so much more emotion to it, where it's a conversation now between the two, and so
that's good songwriting.
Yeah,
if you can do something like that,
for sure. But shout out to Gavin M.
Yeah, he Gavin booked me over at 7 one time.
Yeah,
and Gavin's a good guy
for sure. Well, let's drop in trouble these days. You kind of talking about some of the older days and things. It's kind of. Is there anything else?
A drink. Sorry.
Anything else around this one you want to add?
I need to give some credits to a gal named Hope Dunbar. She's a songwriter out of Nebraska.
Yeah.
And
she co-write with this?
Kind of. I don't know what a co-write is considered, but here's she's an unbelievable songwriter in herself, and comes to town quite a bit. I've done some shows with her, and she'd come down to 1900 Park, and we'd have a good time down there. She hits it hard. She's gonna do good things in the world. But I wrote this song, and like many songs, didn't finish it. And it sat around for a bit, and I didn't want to let it go. Thank you. I didn't want to let it go or sit as long as I usually let things sit, because I thought, there's something there. So just on a whim, I sent it to her, and immediately, I don't want to cheapen the song, but she came back with a portion of it really quick. And I said, okay, that's done. And that's done. So I guess, it can... I like to label it when I play that out. I label it as a songwriter song because you have to go to a spot, and all the elements have to be right, and you have to. Everybody writes different, It's one of those things, and you kind of when you live like that, it doesn't happen very often. And it leads to a lot of disappointments, like everything turns into shit, Not really. Right. And that's kind of what the song is. It's right. Like, get over yourself. Go about your business.
Yeah.
Kind of one of those things. Trouble these days. I sat alone, watched you drive away so slowly, hoping only maybe you would turn around. By the time I knew it wasn't gonna happen, the weed and whiskey all but knocked me down. And the trouble these days ain't the moving, it's the doing. Oh, trouble these days ain't the backbeat, it's the grooving. Oh, trouble these days ain't the winning, it's the losing. Oh, trouble these days. There may be times all my longings and my earnings don't ever quite seem to get in line with that time. You were way up in Wisconsin at Featherbed, just knowing you were mine. And the trouble these days ain't the waking, it's a baking. Cold trouble these days ain't the aching, it's a shaking. Cold trouble these days ain't the spending, it's the making. Cold trouble these days. And the trouble these days, it's like light switches and curtains. Oh, trouble these days, it's loving through the hurting. And the trouble these days, it's knowing that for certain when the sun will come back up, you'll have coffee in my cup. So it's learning to live inside the empty that you held me in once upon a time. And I sit alone and disappear into the quiet, just me and my silence. And the trouble these days, feeling guilty 'cause I'm happy. And the trouble these days is pride knowing the world won't slight me. And the trouble these days is remembering that my troubles really aren't troubles these days.
You mentioned 1900 Park.
Yeah. It's not open anymore. We keep getting phone calls. I guess we should have kept it open. But
that was your a business adventure?
It turned out, yeah, that's a good way to label, I guess. It was going to be a really cool hobby, and it was a really cool thing for a while, and it turned into something. And when something turns into something, it has to be something.
Yeah.
You have to get licensing, and people come knocking on your door, and
You said
it was a choice to, hey, can we make a go of this in the way that we want to make a go of it, or do we turn it into something that we have to do that wasn't really our intention to begin with, maybe. But we could have kept it going, and we looked at each other and it's like, yeah, it was a good run. We had a lot of fun down there. We did. Met some great people, great artists. I guess people don't know what it was. It was just an art gallery in Lafayette Square, downtown. Beautiful neighborhood, tough area to get folks to come to. But we had some good times down there. Met some great songwriters. I did a lot of songwriting stuff down there. I wrote a lot of songs down there. And met a lot of really good musicians and songwriters. And Janelle filled the walls with art that was something that most folks weren't used to. You know, everybody that walked in the door was like, what in the hell is this? You know, and so it was what it was, and it was a beautiful thing. So,
is there any, you think, knowing what you know now, like maybe reviving it?
No, not from my standpoint.
Yeah.
Somebody could make a go of it, but they'd have to have a whole lot of energy and a whole lot of money and be willing to lose it. Because it's not, unfortunately, art is a tough sell. Sure. And music, nothing against 1900 Park, but it was not set up as a music. We did what we could do there. We couldn't push the limits with sound or the neighbors. It was what it was, and it's hard to talk about because it did turn into something, I guess. But it started with an empty space and built a stage and put art on the wall.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm getting to play with Verlin Thompson, and who's Guy Clark's side guy and brilliant songwriter in himself. Sam Baker. I'm name dropping now. Gerf Morlitz. We had some great folks come through there.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
And that's why.
A lot of local folks.
Yeah, lots of local folks. I'll start name dropping. I haven't talked to Dana Anderson in a long time, but he's a brilliant songwriter.
Oh yeah.
You know Dana?
Big fan of Dana. Yeah. He's.
I didn't know him and JB were related for the longest time, and then I felt stupid.
Yeah.
Tommy, hadn't talked to Tommy in a while, but Tommy Holler and I have known each other for a long time. Go way back. Fred Friction and let's see, Brian Rainey.
Yeah.
It was for a while. It was just a good stretch. I guess that's all you call it.
Sure.
But on to the next thing. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a big fan of Brian out here. He's doing something that we did, or he's doing something that we tried to do down there. And with a liquor license, but in a strip mall.
Yeah.
But God love him, man. He does that with a smile and an inside joke, and he's the people of Chesterfield don't realize he's bringing good things to them. That's the way I look at it. You know, I hope he keeps doing it for a long time.
For sure. I agree. Unfortunately, there's a lot of cool things that come and go and stuff.
So much.
I mean, like, there's I just saw today the announcement that I mean, I never went. I'm not a coffee drinker, but Coffee Cartel was closing up and stuff. They after 22 years in business.
Where's
there.
it?
I forget what street it's on, but you know, there's just you see announcements every day that local businesses are, closing up and stuff, and like so it's unfortunate, but I mean,
well, it's a double-edged sword because there's so much stuff going on, so much really good stuff at really good places, but people can't go everywhere every night,
right?
You do a great job posting, hey, this is what's going on around. Look at this lineup. Yeah. And that's awesome.
Thanks, man.
But I look down the lineup, I'm like, well, I'd love to see 4 of those 20 shows. And what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to watch Lost, go to sleep.
Yeah. That's where we're at, man. Netflix is like where you're competing with so much Netflix and everything else.
I know.
So
I used to cuss the hell out of folks for not crossing the river and coming downtown, and now I'm one of them. Yeah. But I really don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say now. Right. I'm trying to get even farther away.
Yeah. Well, let's drop in one more. We did.
Did we talk about that enough?
I think so. I mean, anything else?
What was that?
Trouble
these days?
Yeah. Was there? I mentioned.
Nah, that's good now.
Yeah.
I just want to give Hope.
Yeah.
Did I even say your last name?
Yeah.
Hope Dunbar. Okay.
Yeah, check her out for sure. Let's talk about I Wish. This was a pretty heavy song.
Yeah. I'm surprised when I played that. One, I still remember, but two, how heavy that song actually is, I guess. That last Trouble These Days was a relatively newer song, a couple of years probably, but I Wish is pretty old. I wrote that when I don't even know. It was a different world, different life, I was in a spot where in a spot and living life where I was like, man, I wish nobody knew my name. I'd love to just go out and not be seen, and now, which is ironic, I guess, with this music, or if you're a songwriter, you're supposed to go play all your songs in front of people and try to be as popular and famous. Hey, you gotta get out in front of people. So that's a very difficult thing for me to do, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess that's where it stemmed from, I've lied and I stole and I've cheated and caused so much pain. With the whiskey and the booze and a few drugs I've used, like a madman I've danced in the rain. I've had some great jobs, but still ain't got nothing to claim. And I wish, oh I wish no one knew my name. Well, there's a saying or two about all that you do will come back and show you the same. Well, I've walked through the crowds with my head hanging down, embarrassed, alone, and ashamed, like a prophet with no truth to proclaim. I wish no one knew my name. And this guitar's my counselor and the liquor's my crutch. God's blessed me in life, but I dismissed it as luck. And I can do anything in this world, but I'm scared and I'm lazy. And the truth is, I don't give. I found upstate and round town, I got only myself to blame. And the hell I've been through, if I had it to do again, I'd probably do it the same. My friends, they all whisper, it must be insane. And I wish no one knew my name. Oh, I wish, yes I wish, Lord I wish no one knew my name.
Is that difficult? I mean, like, for you at all, like, to go back to that, like, to sing those words, and or is it kind of numb to it all now to, like...
Well, I think I could probably... I have an easier time singing it now than I probably would back then. But I didn't sing it out back then, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, I at some point, like I said, I mentioned earlier, I don't know how I remember a lot of the words to any songs. But, you know, you kind of flip a switch and that song kind of goes... It doesn't lose meaning because it means something different, but it you know... You flip a switch and you get through it, I guess. Mm-hmm. There's some songs on certain nights that you might break down and cry, but not that one.
I just feel like some of those, yeah, it'd be like kind of like picking a scab at times, you know?
Yeah, well, I got a lot of those songs, to be honest with you. So I guess you get calloused, and at some point they don't pick.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I don't know, just. Again, a big fan of writers, and so much emotion goes into those, and it's like you almost kind of got to relive it every time you sing them. So, you know.
Unfortunately, well, I think a good song relates differently to different people. So what that song truly means to me may not be the same thing it means to you or the next person, and the next person, the next person. That doesn't make it any less depressing, sad, and one of those songs, but. I joke with songwriting friends, like, somebody has to write sad songs. Yeah. Somebody has to write happy ones.
Yeah.
So
I consider myself very happy in my personal life, but like I listen to a lot of really sad, depressing music and stuff, but
they say so much.
Yeah, I love it all, man. It's like people put their heart and tears in all these songs, but make some beautiful music.
Yeah, and there is that spot in your personality and your character that is able to paint that picture, which is a real downer. But that's I fight that because everybody thinks I'm just this stern, callous asshole, and it's not necessarily the case. Right. A lot of times I'm pretty happy going and love having fun and all that stuff, but what's that? I was told the other day I have resting bitch face. I don't mean to.
Right.
Don't be intimidated. Come shake my hand, I guess.
It's one of the most recent examples I can think of. Like, you're talking about songs kind of meaning something to somebody else and things. Like, it didn't necessarily like mean something different, but I totally saw it in a different light. But as I can remember. I'm a huge fan of Will Hogue. He's one of my all-time favorite writers, and he had a song called "Strong" that was getting quite a bit of radio play. Ended up making it into a Chevy commercial a while back, but I remember first time hearing it, and I was like, "Oh, it's a great song," and then all of a sudden, like, my grandfather passed away, and I heard the song afterwards, and I totally and then that song just became about him. Like, it was like, so I wasn't really thinking about my grandfather before, but then afterwards, then now it's like, now every time I hear it, I think of my grandfather, and I think of that song, and then how those words represented what he was about and stuff. So it's like, it's interesting how life can kind of change songs too for you. You can change along with it, and all of a sudden these words mean something completely different than they did, the day before and stuff. So
yeah. Well, I think a lot of people, and I don't have it figured out, but I've listened to enough songwriters get up in front of a mic and say, "Yeah, this happened, and I was thinking like this, and I wrote this song, and I hope you like it." And I shake my head at that. I don't ever want to discourage anybody from writing anything.
All right.
But there's just a deeper meaning to songwriting, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And songs change throughout time. Songs that I've written now don't mean what they did to me then. Although I'm still drawn to those same ideas and thoughts a lot of times. And I also have been doing it long enough to recognize that I don't write songs the same. I never write a song. There are certain songs I wrote in my 20s that I wouldn't be able to write now. And there's certain songs that I don't want to write,
Mm-hmm.
because you hear more and you, I guess, learn more about what you want to do, what you don't want to do. So, I don't know, I could sit and talk songwriting a lot, but I don't really have a point to it, and I'd probably come off more despairing than I would positive, go get 'em type, go write that next great song kind of thing. But it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably a lot more common than I think a lot of songwriters are like that yourself. I mean, there's I don't think there's as many that are super positive people, even comedians too. They get out there and they tell jokes on stage and make people laugh, but off mic or off stage, there's a lot of.
There's a fine line between just being a negative asshole and being a realist. You know?
Sure.
And I think a lot of times comedians are just like, well, yes, this is wrong, but it's funny at the same time. If you can't find humor in something, then you're going to struggle. And I do think songwriters view the world differently, and that's why songwriters are unique. You know? Everybody brings their uniqueness of their view to things, and some not very good. I should say most not very good, to be honest with you. But still do it.
Yeah.
Still do it for whatever reason you do it.
Right.
I wouldn't stop. Can't.
Right.
I don't guess.
Yeah.
About the time I think I'm done writing a song, another something will pop in my head at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I hope you don't stop, because I really dig what you're doing, and I'm excited. I'm gonna come out there on November 15th.
I'll do.
And party with you guys.
Bring some people.
Yeah. So November 15th, Naked Vine, Thursday night. Come on out and hang out and see Eric and don't be afraid to shake his hand.
Not in the middle of the set, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's always awkward.
Right.
Carry on a song and shake somebody's hand.
I see that a lot, though.
It happens. I know people don't know.
Yeah. It's like
people just don't get it.
people want to always come and tell you like something, and it's like, you know.
I had a guy want to show me a song one time.
Yeah.
Won't tell you where, but we got to talk. You know, a little bit of artist. You know, I hate to say crowd. A little bit of artist crowd communication and interaction is great.
Right.
But at some point there's a line, and people are oblivious to that line sometimes.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't mean that in an arrogant way. It's just
Sure.
turns into an awkward moment.
Well, I think it seems like I don't know what it is. There's all types of people. I see a lot of it though. Like I see people like, especially working in the industry now. Like people like will just jump on the stage. Oh hey, I'll sing this song, and it's like, no, this is our show. Like it's like, or hey, like
I know.
let me play tambourine or whatever this one or whatever it is and stuff. And it's
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a jam session. It's like
well, I love a good karaoke as much as the next person.
Right.
But it's the karaoke progression has turned a lot of people into animals.
Yeah.
Or stage whores. You know? And I'm as big a stage whore as the next person, but there's some etiquette, and I hope it's not just a St. Louis thing.
Right.
But I'm afraid it might be that they just don't know where the boundary is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, again, November 15th, Naked Vine. We'll see you all there. We do have Eric Barnes on Facebook as well. You can get involved, follow along there, and maybe you said you have 2 CDs that are available, but we don't have any copies at the moment. But
I'll stick them out there on Facebook and let people know how to get to them.
Yeah,
it's pretty laid back.
Yeah.
I tend to write a song and put it away and wait for the next one.
Yeah,
you know. Unfortunately, that's about as far as things go. I never really thought about getting them. That's not why I write a song. I don't write a song for somebody to hear it, although some people probably need to. That's not the intent.
Yeah.
But I hope people enjoy it just the same. And if they want it, I will certainly find a way to get it to them.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing these with us today. These, I had a lot of fun coming over, getting to.
I'm glad you came over. I think you're doing a really, really good thing.
Thanks.
And I mean, I don't want to put too much comparison to anything, but things turn into something, and I think you started something as a mighty bold thing. And it turned into something great, and I hope you continue doing it and wish you well doing it.
Thanks, man. Means a lot.
People need to hear what's going on, and they need an outlet and a voice. So I'm glad you take the time to do it.
Yeah,
and I appreciate you letting me be a part of it.
Yeah, I love it. I've been having, like I said, I've said it a bunch, but I've met so many people doing this show, and so many of them become lifelong friends now. So it's
that's what it is. That's what it is. So. That's the one thing that I have learned. If I had expectations of grandeur, the networking and the meeting of different people and different groups and settings and genres, and that's what is the great the greatest thing about music, and I've learned that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love it. Like I said, I've been so thankful.
So many good people.
That music's brought so many cool people into my life.
Good
so,
people.
yeah.
Good people out there.
Yeah, man.
Gotta go outside your living room and find them, though, folks.
Yeah, get outside.
Not gonna happen in your house unless you invite them over for a house concert.
Yep.
That'd be cool too.
And have Ray Wiley Hubbard play some Snake Farm. So.
Yeah, he's expensive these days. Shane, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. I'll see you soon, buddy.
Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast. Rock Paper Podcast.
Rock Paper Podcast.
Well, yeah, that was it.